Have you ever noticed how a lot of anti-bullying advice sounds like this? Just ignore it. Tell them to stop. Tell an adult. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the bullying gets sneakier or louder, or it follows the kid home through a phone. So today I want to ask a different question. What if bullying is less about bad kids and more about unmet needs, plus a learned strategy for power? That doesn't excuse it, it explains it. And when we understand the why, we get better at stopping the what. Hi, I'm Sean Miller, a former professor of literature, a childhood trauma survivor, and a father of two. This channel explores the intersection of parenting and what I call self-parenting, doing the work to heal our own childhood wounds so we don't pass them on. Today we're talking about bullying, not just how to stop it, but why it happens in the first place. Because if we misunderstand the why, we'll keep applying solutions that don't work. So, why do children bully? What emotional dynamics drive it? And what actually breaks the cycle? Let's take a closer look. Here are the basics. Bullying can be name-calling, physical harm, exclusion, or online cruelty. What I want to add to this is bullying isn't just someone being mean. Most public health definitions emphasize three elements: unwanted aggressive behavior, a power imbalance, and repetition, or a strong likelihood it will be repeated. That power imbalance piece matters because a lot of adults accidentally minimize bullying by calling it conflict, like two equal kids having a bad day. Bullying is different. It's one kid consistently being put beneath another kid, socially, emotionally, physically, or digitally. Here's the core insight. Kids often bully because they feel powerless somewhere else. Bullying can make someone feel powerful at school if they feel helpless at home. A trauma-informed lens takes that seriously. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration describes a trauma-informed approach as one that realizes trauma is widespread, recognizes its signs, responds by integrating that knowledge, and resists re-traumatization. Now let's bring in attachment theory language in plain English. Attachment needs are basically, do I matter? Am I safe? Will someone help me when I'm overwhelmed? Do I belong? When those needs aren't met consistently, when a kid is living with chaos, harshness, neglect, humiliation, or constant criticism, some kids don't collapse inward, they go outward. They externalize, and bullying can become a crude, learned workaround for fear, shame, low status, and emotional overwhelm. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's work on youth violence risk factors lines up with this broader picture. Risk factors for aggressive behavior include a history of victimization, high emotional distress, and exposure to violence or conflict in the family. So when we say hurt people, we're not just parroting a cliche or making a poetic excuse. We're pointing at a pattern. Now let's talk about the other side because this matters too. Victims of bullying are not bullied because they deserve it or because they're defective. They're often bullied because they're available. What I mean by that is they're isolated, unsupported, unsure of their own boundaries, or already carrying shame. Consider the following situation. A girl at school, let's call her Tiffany, gets mocked for her clothes. Her friends join in and she feels embarrassed. She withdraws, and an adult finally notices. That withdrawal makes sense. When a kid's nervous system learns, I'm not safe, the body chooses survival modes: fight, flight, freeze, and one we don't talk about enough, fawn, trying to appease people to avoid harm. So here's one major shift I want for students. Being targeted is not proof you're less than. It's often proof you need more support and more allies. Now to the big question. How can understanding the root cause help victims stand up to bullies without villainizing them? Here's the key. You can have compassion for what might be behind bullying and still set a firm boundary. Compassion doesn't mean access. Here's a simple 3-step script for kids. I really recommend that they practice this out loud. Step 1, name it briefly. Don't talk to me like that. Stop, that's not okay. Step 2, boundary plus consequence in a calm voice. If you keep going, I'm walking away and telling an adult, I'm not doing this with you. Step 3, exit, leave, don't debate, don't perform for the crowd. This is important. Arguing is often what the bully wants because it keeps them in control of your attention. Calm plus brief plus exit is not weakness. It's leadership over your own nervous system. What if the bullying is physical or threatening? Then we're not in clever comeback territory, we're in safety territory. Get distance, get an adult immediately, document and report. The CDC notes bullying can cause serious harm, psychological, social, educational, and it needs real intervention. What about ignore them? Ignoring works only when you're physically safe, the bully doesn't gain status from it, and you have support nearby. But ignore it as a universal solution can quietly teach a kid you're alone or you don't matter. A better message is you deserve support and we're going to build it. Most bullying is social. It runs on an audience. So the fastest way to reduce it is often to train bystanders to become upstanders. Support the target. Hey, come sit with us. Distract. Change the subject. Interrupt the moment. Delegate. Go get an adult. Direct if this is safe. Not cool. Stop. And then, this is big, follow up afterward. Hey, I saw that. Are you okay? That single sentence repairs isolation. Schools often default to assemblies, slogans, or zero tolerance punishments, but research consistently suggests bullying improves most when schools use whole school approaches. Clear norms, staff training, consistent follow-through, and changing peer dynamics, not just punishing individuals. A major meta-analysis found school-based anti-bullying programs on average reduce bullying, perpetration, and victimization. 2 practical components matter a lot. 1, predictable adult response. Kids report bullying more when they believe adults will respond effectively. That means taking it seriously, documenting patterns, separating kids when needed, and following up, not forgetting. And 2, accountability plus repair when appropriate. Restorative practices done well, not as a buzzword, can reduce aggression and bullying and improve school climate. But here's the trauma-informed rule. The victim's safety and consent come first. Restorative should never mean forcing a harmed kid to sit in a circle and perform forgiveness. Now let's talk about the child who bullies without demonizing them. A bullying child needs 2 things at the same time: limits and help. Not shame, not labels, not you're a monster, but also not, boys will be boys. A trauma-informed parenting stand is this: I love you too much to let you hurt people. Or we're going to figure out what's going on underneath this, and we're also going to make it right. Research links lower bullying odds with protective factors like parent-child communication and active involvement in a child's life. And broader CDC findings connect parental monitoring with reduced bullying perpetration and victimization. So parents can make a big difference in this. The playbook often looks like this for parents: increase supervision, especially online, reduce exposure to violent conflict, for example in the media, coach emotional regulation, teach empathy in concrete ways, for example, what do you think that felt like for them? And get counseling support if the behavior is persistent. Because sometimes the bully is also a bullied kid at home, in the neighborhood, or in their own head. So here's the message I want to land with this. Bullying is not a kid problem, it's a system problem. Nervous systems, family systems, peer culture, school climate. And we don't stop it by saying, be nice. We stop it by building three things: safety for targets, skills and allies for bystanders and victims, and accountability plus healing for kids who bully. You can understand the bully's pain without volunteering to be their punching bag. You can hold compassion and hold a boundary. If you're a student dealing with bullying, you deserve support, and it's okay to ask for help. If you're a parent, don't wait for it to blow over. Patterns grow in silence. And if you're an educator, your consistent, calm intervention is more powerful than any assembly. If this video helped, consider subscribing and let me know in the comments what's the most unhelpful bullying advice you've ever heard and what you wish adults had done instead.